Hello out there, people. My name is Mark Bryant, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about tips on parenting. If you're interested in some of the things I got to say, hey, I hope you stay with me. Tip number one, be a good listener. And as well as, be patient with them. Listen to what they got to say. If you don't always agree with it, listen to their point of view. Let them tell you how they feel. Sometimes we want to be the director in the movie, but let them write their own movie, their own script. It's their life. We're just here for a support system. Tip 2, being involved. And what I mean by being involved is like be a participant. Be a participant in your kids' life, in school activities, whatever functions they have going on. Let them know that you're there for a support system. Whatever they might need you. You could be there, but sometimes you could be in the background. Just let them know that you are there for them. And that means a lot in the kid's life. When a parent show up at his school or his functions, activities, you want to let them know and put up in their mind that, hey, I'm there for you. I could take time out because what you do matter and it is important. Tip number 3, being a positive role model. Being a positive role model is not just about the words. You have to put it into action. You have to lead by example. You can't be one way one day and be another way another day. You have to be that positive example, that shining light. That also helps that kid grow. If he see you have rules, regulations, or boundaries, then they too might want to emulate that. Practice what you preach. Live by that, grow by that, and that'll help the kid grow. And then he will see that, okay, when I say something, my word is who I am, and I stand by that. Tip number 4, loving. One of my favorites, loving unconditionally. That means approaching a child with a non-judgmental approach, a non-judgmental eye. Let that child be a child. He's going to make mistakes. He has to learn from them. He has to sometimes figure his own way. Kids going to do things that sometimes anger us, or sometimes we just flat out don't agree with. But when you let that child feel comfortable in his own skin, he will grow, you will grow, and none like you. Tip number 5. Well, I guess you want to compromise with your child. You want to let that child, explain himself. You want to let that child be himself. I think so often we kind of look at what we want, and at the end of the day, you got to see what's in that child's head. You got to, even though we as parents try to want to keep them on the right track, want to keep them focused, but sometimes we got to give something of ourselves that they could take with them and grow with. You got to compromise. My way is not always the way. Sometimes we say my way the highway. No. We meet in between. We work together. We close the gap. Compromise. Tip number 6. Spending time. You really can't put enough emphasis on spending time. I think spending time covers a whole genre of things. It's one of the greatest things I think I like to do, because you really get to know that child one-on-one. You have a house full of kids, but if you take that one kid and give him his day, his time to shine, if you will, and get to know him, his likes, his dislikes, his do's, his don'ts, what makes him tick, what makes him go, and spend time with him. Let him know that he is special too, whether he's the first child, the fourth child, whatever it might be. Spend time with that kid, and it's priceless. You can't put a price tag on priceless, because one of the greatest jobs, I think, for me, is being a parent and spending time with my kids. Tip 7. Don't compare your kids. Each kid are their own individual. Each kid move at their own pace. So often we hear parents, be like your brother. Why can't you be like your sister? Get all A's like your sister. Go to college like your sister. So. No. They're all a blessing and they should be treated as such. Let them be themselves. They'll mold themselves into whatever they want to be. Things take time, so do kids. Yes, they could be a challenge, but growing together is nothing more beautiful. Let that kid be that kid that he was meant to be. We might not always agree with it, or whether we do or we don't. But let that kid be them own self. Tip 8. Make rules, but also trust your kids. Because when kids see structure, then one day when they have kids, they might follow some structure. A house without structure is like a house without a rooftop. It's just empty as far as I'm concerned. Let a kid know that these are rules. Yes, they put in place for a reason. They put in place to not only benefit me, but to benefit you, to protect you. When I make rules, it's not to be a ruler, but yet to be a compromise. Tip number 9. I look at tip number 9 as a give and take situation. I think in order to really, really grow as a family, as a unit, you got to give up something of yourself. You really have to have that give and take. I think that brings the glue together. That solidifies things. When you give, you get more. When you listen, you learn more. One of my mottos have always been open heart, listening ear. And it means a lot to listen. Some of us, I think we need to get the wax out, but we need to listen. And if we listen, we can learn, and then we can progress. Last but definitely not least, I had to put it at the top of my list, reward. At my house, we have a reward system. And that reward system is, when you do right, I'm going to go more than out of my way to show appreciation towards you. Because if you do what is asked of you and I don't have to repeat myself, then hey, you might see something in the store you like, and I'm going to remind you that, hey, remember you had asked about this or that? And I'm going to go get that for you, or take you to obtain that. And so when you show me appreciation for whatever the reasoning, I'm going to show you appreciation like, hey, thank you. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being a positive you. And when you do better, hey, better things come your way. As we come to a close, hey, my name is Mark Bryant. This is my channel, and hopefully in the future you can get right back with me. And if there's anything I missed as a parent, hey, feel free to shoot me a kite, let me know. Because on the next episode, we're going to be going at them again. Have a good one.